Zixir 10 times fast.
Zarv Zixir. It's like little whispers.
Too many X's, I guess, not even Z's.
Yeah, there's
Look
like
how you pronounce X's like Z's. Why even bother having a separate letter then?
X, easily worst letter of the alphabet.
That's what I'm saying.
So bad. X-ray.
Bottom tier.
I don't know where I got that name from, whether it was like, oh, there's fantasy. I don't think I got it from Fantasy Generator. I think I was just like, if I mash my keyboard a little bit and then like remove some vowels and some like normal ass letters. And that's what I ended up with. And
right.
I'll be honest, I'm pretty happy with it.
I want it to be like Zarv Zixir and Bob to be the three of them.
One of them was supposed to be Chet, right?
It's true, but he didn't respond to it when I called him Chet.
No,
so
he did not.
That feels wrong.
And welcome back to the 7 Star to the Right podcast. This is session 34.
Wow.
How are you guys doing?
Ooh.
Sleepy.
Was 7 start to the right?
Yeah, to the right, not from the right.
Oh. You don't even mess that up anymore.
I don't.
It's good job.
Yeah.
Here I
you.
go. Doing good.
Saying the
You guys ready? I'm about to do good.
One like quick pre-announcement. I've done this the past couple of sessions, but we are like preparing for another meta-dimensional episode, and it'd be cool to like have questions from people that are not us. So we have an email address now. 7thstarpodcast@gmail.com. That is
The letter 7.
the letter 7, the number 7. THSTAR podcast@gmail.com. So send in any questions you want us to answer. Obviously, I can't answer anything like very specific to the story, but
Not too specific.
we take what we can get. All right.
Jeff, in the 12th episode.
Really selling it.
In the in the 12th episode, you had this character say this thing, but very clearly afterwards, you had another character say this thing, which completely contradicts what this person said.
That's still bothering you, huh?
Oh, absolutely. Every single time I listen back to one of these and I hear something that I'm like, that's what I said?
Oh no.
Yeah.
That
Actually, the answer
I have
is
to rewrite
just-
some notes, huh?
You just don't understand what when you travel through metadimensional space. There are like little discontinuities. That's just part of the story.
Parallel universes,
And,
we're just leaning out the window and high-fiving our alternates.
It's really so obvious that you should just know that by now. But if you don't, now you do.
All
God, I
right.
love sci-fi.
Yeah.
What's really hard is when the characters look different between universes. You just forget which image is associated with the character right now. So.
That is tough.
There's one where just everything is green.
I don't like that.
Sometimes you end up there and it's just really weird for a bit, but then soon you jump through metadimensional space again. You're back to normal. No one likes the green one.
All right. So what do you guys remember from last session?
Basically nothing.
Oh,
There's a lot of combat, Jeff.
There was a lot of combat. In fact, I would say most of the last episode was combat.
Would you say that?
I would say that.
Probably say that.
I could probably say that.
We ran into 3 special looking monster mash looking things.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Monster Mash.
I am building my menagerie,
Yeah, we tried to kill
and what a
one
hunting
there.
menagerie it is.
Yeah. So we had the good old flesh beast, OG, gorilla.
Hulking gorilla is what I've been calling
Hulking
it.
gorilla
I don't
and
like
the
it.
rock angel.
Rock
Yeah,
Yeah, I actually have other names for all of them, like written down
I
somewhere.
doubt it.
Sorry, not their actual names. You did learn one of their actual names.
Yeah. It was
Chet, Zarv Zixir.
Strong last name.
But I in my notes, I think they are. There's shifting flesh, which
Sure.
makes sense. Hulking guardian and
Zarv Zixir.
No, Darcy,
what's the I need to pull up my
Zarv
notes
Zixir.
for very specifically that last one because
Is it important?
it's not super important. I named that one Angelic Voice. I wonder why. Anywho, yeah, you met those 3 boys. Yeah.
Yeah, how do you feel about that, Jeff?
Yeah.
And episode 33.
Jeff
You
got
said-
Please direct all of your complaints. about
Yeah,
Jeff.
please,
Right.
absolutely direct any
To our
and all
email address.
complaints to the email address that feeds into my email.
to Jeff's personal email.
Yeah, to my personal
Which we
email.
will list now.
No.
The
please.
letter 8.
I got the letter 8 at gmail.com. Can you believe it? All right, so you guys met those 3 things.
Yep.
Yep.
We fought him.
You fought them real good.
Yep.
Mhm.
Argus
it-
got turned. We're mad at him.
But he's better now.
Argus got turned by the one that showed up, angelic voice, looking motherfucker.
We're gonna call it Rock Angel or Not a Bird.
Rock Angel.
At least in my
Not a
opinion.
bird is
You
very
can call it.
Rock Angel is very like to the point. So yeah, you guys fought the 3 of them and met up with Arcus. Arcus did get turned very briefly. He shot Alex.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, well.
and took out I think most of your HP. How
Yeah.
much did you have left after he
4.
hit you?
4.
Oh jeez.
But then we leveled up, so it's fine.
Yeah, so that is actually a great segue. You guys have leveled up, so let's quickly go around the table to see what the new goodies we got. Well, you guys got. I have nothing new to play with.
No,
Claire?
So sad.
Yeah, I haven't leveled
Claire
her up
learned
yet.
things. Oh,
Claire
well,
doesn't level up. Oh.
Claire does level up. I just
She's
haven't
being
leveled her up yet.
she's not part of the
I've
team.
been lazy. I don't think it's super necessary just yet, but
Well,
You can say
I'm sorry. She'll show
Okay.
off some new moves later.
Sometime.
okay.
Yeah, Philip,
So
you go first.
I can start. Yeah. So we're level 5 now, which means that we also get a new focus on top of all the other normal leveling up stuff.
Yee.
So I took the alert focus. So I'm better at noticing stuff and I'm better at initiative. And people can't surprise me.
Ooh, fun.
Yes. It says that right there. I cannot be surprised.
you're like, happy birthday. I'm like, I knew it.
Let's see. I also got another point in heal skill for keeping us a little topped up because we're scrapping a bit here and there. I've got 41 health now. And I took the technique telekinetic expertise, which means I can use my normal just moving stuff around ability as much as I want without committing effort.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'll hate that. I'll probably hate that.
No problem. I had that.
So you have nearly 50 hit points?
Well, 41.
Oh, sorry. I thought you said 49 or something. 41. Okay. Thinking about things. But that's nearly as much as like one of those things that you guys were fighting.
Ooh,
I think that's
spoilers.
more than Alex and myself put together.
Well, how about we figure that
Actually,
out?
no, that's not true. Never
So,
mind.
Kirsten, how's Nona doing?
Yeah, so I rolled hit points and it was meh, so I only got 1 more hit point. So I'm at a mighty 22 now. But the good news is since we moved up to level 5, my Ironhide kicks in and I now have an armor class of 18 as opposed to 17 because it is half your character level rounded up.
Nice.
Yeah, a rare round up. And then so I just dumped all of my I got slightly more charismatic, brought that up to a 0, just because I think Nona's been talking to enough people that she no longer instantly ticks off or makes like weirded out everybody she meets.
Yeah.
And I dumped all the rest of it into my fix skill. So now I have a +2 to fix.
Nice.
So doing that whole not dying thing real hard.
That really helps.
And then as my new focus, I took Gunslinger, which gains shoot as a bonus skill. So my shoot went up 1, and I can draw or holster a stowed ranged weapon as an on-turn action, and I may add my shoot skill to a ranged weapon's damage roll.
Oh,
That's
nice.
all ranged weapons, so I can get like knives and throw those and stuff too.
Cool. Like even throwable stuff.
Yeah,
Nice.
throwable stuff.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure.
All right. How about Alex?
Cool. Yeah. So Alex gained, he's sitting at a nice prime 23 HP, which was good. Pretty calm level up. He increased his notice and his talk, which I feel like is pretty indicative of what Alex does. So those now sit at a solid +2 notice and +2 talk.
Nice.
Okay, nice.
for noticing bullshit and for pulling bullshit out of his ass.
Bullshit master.
It's very useful stuff.
Yeah.
Perfectly well rounded.
Cool. Well, those sound like some nice little toys to play with. So we left off right after combat ended and Arcus shot Alex. So you guys are currently in this warehouse. There have been gunshots. Have there been? Yes, there have been gunshots within here. So theoretically, that you've made some noise. There's been a scuffle, obviously, in this location. So what is the current plan? Are you guys going to converse here? Are you going to immediately leave and then converse somewhere else?
I think Alex gives everybody kind of like a once over, see if like everybody's like up and moving. Yeah.
Are you up and moving?
Oh yeah. Actually, I'm feeling about the same as I did at the beginning of last session. I started with 14 hit points and now I'm at 13. So like honestly, ow. But I'm okay.
I got shot.
I'm
It
doing
hurt a
okay.
lot,
Good.
but then all of a sudden,
It leveled up.
it levels up, and it was great.
I need help moving the shelf off of the bear. Wait, no, he's up.
Yeah.
No, yeah, he shot me.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
It's okay. It
Yeah.
happens.
Argus, are you out of it? Are you better?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, it's weird. I lost it there for a moment. I couldn't do anything. I was kind of trapped in my own body. Did not like that feeling one bit.
No, I heard a thing in my brain too. Was that like the same thing?
Oh
from
yeah,
the,
real
when
like,
the-
staticky
with
ringing. Yeah,
I have some.
the bird or whatever showed up.
yeah, that stupid rock angel.
I have some breathing exercises if you two want. That helps with this kind. And he pulls out his comm. We should probably go. But as we're walking, Alex will put out his comm pad and search for the pictures that he took. Of
Right,
the,
because Alex, during the fight, was able to snap pictures of all three of them. I think the one of the gorilla man with the chest cavity was a little obscured because he was around a corner, but you were able to get pretty good looks at the other two,
or
and at least
Professor
partial.
Oak, like my Pokemon Snap.
Wow.
This is a shit picture. Do it again.
No.
A little blurry.
And as you go through and you're starting to look at what you've taken, as you try to focus on these pictures, you get this itch in the back of your mind, and you can't really focus on like the contents of it all that much. And again, similarly to the first fight with the Flesh Beast, you're as you start to like, okay, well, what was going on here? What was going on there? Things just like they're falling through your fingers. You're starting to like, okay,
Alex looks
yeah.
away from the comm pad. He turns it
Nona's
and
gonna
he holds
say,
it up to Nona. Yeah.
And
He's like,
Nona's
is this
gonna
anything? Is that
send
anything
them
here?
to her phone as well.
Okay.
Share them via
Yeah.
Space Google Drive.
You can see them in all of their glory. They are very clear pictures of them.
Cool. Hooray.
Yeah. So as you guys start to leave, I assume you like gathered yourselves together and try and
Yeah,
like
I figured
pretty
we would head for the
quickly-
boat.
Okay,
Is there
that's
any
fair.
reason not to go to the boat? That's kind of what we do. Like we go to a warehouse and then we go to a boat. And we
Yeah,
go to a
as long
different
as-
building.
as
and
long as
go
we
back to the
move.
boat.
Anywhere.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you move towards the door that you guys came in, and just as you are getting out the door, you see Dorian Gray coming up. It's like, okay, cool. Are they in there? Are we?
We have photos.
Okay, cool.
Go-
Yeah,
go
you're,
with
Are they
you're
it.
late.
gone?
They left.
They left.
Damn. Okay. All right.
Darn.
I guess we'll. Where are you guys going now? Boat.
Boat.
Oh, Akos, Dorian Gray, Akos.
Yeah.
Hi. Hello.
Akos, are you gonna like hang out with us? Are you going back to your
I
thing?
don't know.
Yeah.
Do
You should probably go clean
mean-
that gun. It has a little bit of blood on it.
yeah, maybe I should put this away. I can meet up with you guys.
Yeah,
later, right?
you like work here, right? Isn't it maybe a problem if people see you where the gunshots were?
Yeah, that might be. I might take off.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Really fast.
Yeah.
Nona really wants to know why he can see these things. Not sure exactly how to ask that, but yeah. So Nona's gonna say, so you appear to have the ability to see these things, as does Dorian Gray here, as does myself. There's several things that can bring that about. I'm slightly worried about them targeting us, given that they can see us. I was just curious if you know why.
I don't know why. I don't know why you guys can't see them. I can.
Have you got any like
insight check?
Well, he like be aware he hasn't been investigating these things as much as you guys have. So he knows he's seen them. So like you can make it an insight check. But
I brought it up in the company that we are in the hopes that somebody else would have more of an idea to this, not necessarily that he did, but drawing attention to, hey, you can see this thing.
You ever had brain surgery?
Not explicitly.
What implicit brain surgery?
Well, when I got these things, and he points to the prosthesis that he has, the legs and his arm. I was a shock trooper for the group that I was with, and I stepped on a mine. We had a bio-scion who was able to fix me up, but at that time I had a lot of drugs in my system for various combat purposes, and they weren't able to heal everything at that time due to the amount of strain that it would have put on my body. So there was some light brain surgery maybe there, I guess. Maybe. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
Shit ton of drugs
We
plus
should,
brain surgery. Someone write this down as an alternate.
Okay.
Well, that sort of sounds like what we were hearing from Don here. Anyway, all right.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
I should probably get rid of this gun.
Take it easy.
Don't die.
Yeah.
Do you want us to take it for you?
Oh yeah, if you guys can like hold on to it or something.
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure.
Yeah, and he hands you this gun that it's a lot different than what you guys have.
Okay, thanks, bye.
used before.
I never saw him again.
But yeah, it's a sheer rifle. It's something that you guys could look up, but it works as I explained last session, where rather than like projecting, it's an energy weapon rather than projecting some kind of bullet through somewhere. It is literally like pointing a dot at something and then just shearing everything along that like ray. So it's actually also quite quiet to fire and does quite a bit of damage. I think it's like tech level 5, which is something that is not normally readily available. It's not like super pre-tech, but some pretty specialized places need to either create it.
No. Do you want to hold on to this? It works really well.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
yeah.
I do.
Personally tested.
No, approved.
Have you ever gotten a review from a crash test dummy? It's
I heard it hurts like hell.
yeah.
So
No, not good.
sorry about that.
That's okay.
I was not in my right mind. Anyway, I'm gonna skedaddle, so I'm not associated with the general happenings of what just went down.
Yeah,
I'll
that's cool.
stay in contact with you guys. Still, maybe, perhaps, gonna get that ride. Maybe, perhaps, even though I shot you. Sorry about that.
You
Still
know
have
what?
credits
Yeah.
for that as well.
Yeah, no
if you guys
worries.
want
We
that
shall
as well.
see.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we'll let you know when we're heading off world.
Actually,
Cool.
quick question. How on the way back to the boat, we've been in so many warehouses at this point. I don't really remember. But like
Most of them have been on the spire that you're currently on.
if we're close, I'd maybe like to swing by and see if I can gather up Juan's pieces, as I'm fairly convinced that the thing is gone and probably not coming back. Just go check and see if there's any scrap to be had there.
Yeah, I think this was another spire. That was a hotel as
right.
opposed to the
Sure.
warehouses. But absolutely, you can do that. It might be faster to go to the
Boat and then drive away.
yes.
Okay.
The boat I think is currently parked. You know, logistics are always so fun.
Yeah.
I don't think you took the boat over to the spire. You left it at the spire where Jordan Donahue's
That's
apartment is.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it might actually be faster to go there now, although you would have to drag. I'm just gonna frickin' say you do it.
Okay.
Nothing to cost you.
I can help you carry the stuff.
Thank you.
I was going to
I
talk
just
through
don't want
this.
to leave
Yeah,
stuff lying around.
I will describe the
Sure.
scene. So you go back to where you first met Dorian Gray, where you first were attacked by this flesh beast. You go up a couple of flights of stairs again. It's a pretty dilapidated, once probably hotel, and you are walking up the stairs when you see completely bifurcated Juan, who does not seem to be powered anymore. Something seems to be wrong with his power, which is why he hasn't done anything like this.
Cut in half?
Very probably. You make a quick judgment. You're like, yep, that would do that. Getting cut in half is generally not great for your continued well-being. So you're able to pick him up and recover him. It might require some scrap in order to fix him up, but he is like still a thing that you could definitely. You look at him and you're like, I could definitely fix this. It doesn't say anything though because it is currently offline.
Yep.
So you've picked that up. I'm just gonna say you guys get back to the boat if that's where you guys are wanting to go.
Yeah, that's
or is there like a conversation that's happening in the meantime, or do you want to just like wait until you get somewhere more secure, like the boat, to just figure out what the next steps are?
Yeah.
Dorian Gray
so.
currently is like. She'll go with you.
Yeah, we're gonna pick up our robot. You can hang out in the boat, or if you want to come with.
You might remember where it got ripped to pieces.
Yeah,
'cause you were there.
she'll hang out with you guys.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Then we're going to go back to the boat and
Yeah, probably wait to talk until we get there.
yeah, probably a good idea.
Okay. So that all happens. No one really accosts you, and there aren't really any like major happenings that you really notice or take any mind to. So you guys get back with the parts from Juan, and you're on the boat.
Cool. I think at that point, Nona is going to sort of start doing an info dump of what just happened. If anybody wants to stop her, she's kind of going to be like, because she's been told many times before, like, don't stop sharing this information, but
you're bringing like Dorian Gray up to
exactly
speed? Okay.
What she sort of missed.
Yeah, she takes in everything. It's like, okay, cool.
So
doesn't
anyway,
really add
it
anything.
seems like they're gone for now and no longer going to be opposing.
It does worry me that they said something that no matter what we do now, their plans are in motion. That's not a great thing, considering that it involved continuing a civil war and then also attacking people.
On the other hand, they did say we had their sort of permission to do all of the things that we wanted to accomplish on this planet. So that's good.
I suppose.
So, Jeff, can the two of us remember anything of substance about what happened at this point or not? Like what was said by the Rock Angel or anything?
No, not really. Okay. You remember you got into a fight, and that's about the extent of it.
Okay.
You know it was against multiple things, and that's really like you don't know what was said there. You don't really know everything else. And as like Nona tries to explain what happened there, you're like, I don't know if that's how it really went down. I feel like I have a better grasp on this than you. And you catch yourself doing that, like, no, she knows better, but then also that's definitely not what happened. So you're constantly struggling with this within your mind.
Anyway, I suppose we're going to move past that now. Great. Yeah, and I think we're mostly just chilling around. I don't know if Argus was going to meet up with us. I'm not really sure what our next plans are at this point.
We have an island to get to.
Yeah, that still sounds like it's important. And I mean, the stuff you were talking about, Nona, if things went that way, I mean, we've known there are like plans going on, and maybe the people who are running those plans are like confident that they've got it all in the bag, but we've got Claire, and she's pointing us in a place where maybe there's something that could help us turn the tide in the war. So I do think we should maybe check out that island.
So the biggest thing, as I understand it, is we did not bring with us suits. of any sort. We have those.
No anti-radiation though.
They're on our. We have the vac suits or whatever on our ship.
Yeah.
But not on our boat. So either we need to purchase some of those or go back and get them.
There is another option,
Okay.
which is that I can protect all of us with a, what is it called? A force skin pressure field.
How many people can you use that on at a single
And how close do they need to be? And like, yeah, tell us just everything.
Let's talk
Tell us
about
all
the
the things.
I'm trying to sell you on me doing a cool thing.
I love it.
All right, I can manifest a protective foreskin around my person, but by committing effort for the scene, I can do the same thing to up to 6 comrades. It's equivalent to a vac suit, maintaining pressure and temperature even in hard vacuum conditions, ignore temperatures, and automatically pressurizes the atmosphere for breathability and filters particulates or airborne toxins.
Love that.
So
I would
does that cover
yeah,
radiation?
I would include that in radiation. Yeah.
Love that.
I mean, yeah.
So is that something that you could do? Like, just you would have to keep that effort committed effectively.
That would be
consistently, right?
Yes, that would have to be for every scene, and hopefully it's not so like divided up that people get cancer in between one scene and the next. Like I'm just renewing it by keeping effort committed.
Dorian Gray speaks up and says, "If we want access to vac suits, I can certainly quickly get a couple. Not to necessarily discredit what you could do, Micah.
No, it's fine.
Just,
I don't mind.
like if you go down, then if it is irradiated, we are at risk.
I guess. I don't see a big risk of that personally.
That's very Micah-y.
You can't really see much expressions underneath Dorian Gray's mask. She is still masked, by the way. She just kind of continues to look at you.
No,
and you can kind of
look at
feel
you,
the like
judging a little
judgment
bit.
coming from behind the mask. All right,
I've said my piece. If you want suits, it's up to you.
what I'm currently wearing effectively works as a vac suit, so I am okay moving forward if you guys are.
I think we would like the vac suits. I think that would be a better plan if you are
In case.
able to easily.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Trivially, I have a bunch. As her eyes shift back and forth underneath her mask.
I don't see it.
All right, cool. Then
So
I think we're gonna go.
she goes off and starts making like some calls, probably to try and obtain those things.
Also, not 100% sure what our plan with Arcus. Not sure if he's meeting back up with us to also come with us on this island adventure. or
You can
we-
talk to him. He seemed to like just
We're gonna
hanging
split
out
up and go
here.
our separate
Yeah.
ways for a bit. That's
Yeah.
fair.
Yep.
I got his gun.
It's a pretty sweet ass gun.
It's so much better than the one I currently have. I only have a laser pistol on me. It does 1d6 damage.
Yeah, I will say you have to be careful about
I
having
know.
that out in public.
But we're going to an irradiated island.
No, I'm
This
just
is
saying, like
exactly
walking
the
around
time.
Jade, you can't just have that
Yeah.
out. It has like
I
an
don't know,
expandable
like, can
stock, so you can fit in your backpack.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say if it can be like hidden,
Yep,
I will
it can be
most
hidden.
definitely do that until we get to our irradiated island wasteland.
Mhm.
Cool. Okay, so I think that's our plan. I think we're going to get our hands on some vac suits. I think we're going to go on an adventure to the irradiated island. I think,
Okay.
yeah.
So as you guys are starting to make like preps to leave Jade and stuff along that vein, Claire walks up to you, Micah, and says, so the place that we're going to, I took a look at where it is. And it's south. That the island itself is just right off of the western coast of Ostia, where my village was. I would like to go there, and I don't know if I'll ever be back, and maybe pick up some things, if that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, of course. Do we need to be worried, especially going over there? Like if
It was called Nova Peak. I'm not even sure if anything is there anymore. We were farmers. I know there isn't much that can really be grown on Orsiame, but we still got to eat. So It was just a small community. I don't really anticipate someone else moving in, but it has been like 5 years.
All right. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we'll definitely stop there.
Cool. And then she kind of slinks away at that and just a little introspective about things.
If Nona gets an opportunity, she would like to have a side conversation with Alex and Micah.
Yeah, I think Claire is taking a moment right now, and Dorian Gray.
Claire can also be a part of it. It's mostly just a Dorian Gray list thing.
Okay, yeah. Dorian Gray is currently trying to obtain vac suits, so is doing like calls and stuff.
Do we want to tell Dorian Gray about fake Dorian Gray at all? That seems like a potential.
Oh, the guy who's trying out.
Oh, yeah. Goro, right? Yeah.
Yes.
I have no idea. I could not rightly tell you. Yeah. I mean, I don't see any harm.
Yeah, I'll say, why not?
It's just a thing I had written down from like 6 episodes ago that I'd really like to erase off my to-do list.
Yeah.
So.
No, I mean, fair enough call, Nona.
Cool.
Yeah, maybe we can bring it up with her, I guess. Maybe she can use him somehow. He was pretty good with those knives and stuff.
Yeah, she likes knives.
Mm-hmm.
So, common ground already. All right. I might go below deck and get some sleep.
That's probably a good idea.
This is still fairly early in the day. I would say it's midday. So
Yeah,
it hasn't necessarily
there's
worn
just
off
a
yet.
preparation. Like this is the last effects. Like the effects are gone. This is the night where he has to be able to sleep. So it's gonna get Alex real quick.
Do you want any help, like patching yourself up before that? I can understand if you're kind of bushed.
Oh no, I was just going to let the blood warm me. I'm okay right now.
All right, if you say so.
Cool.
I'm trying to decide if it's worth healing me or not. Because I've got some scrap, but I've only lost 3 HP.
It's up to you.
Hold up. Give me a second.
You heal like your character level for each scrap.
Something like that. Actually, I think there's a fix in there too. I think that's why I upped fix. Give me a second.
I think fix deals with how fast you can do it, or I can't remember. Anywho, you can look that up.
Yeah, no, it's just character level.
I think that the higher the fix, the faster you can do it, or something like that.
Cool.
So Dorian Gray comes back and explains that the vac suit should be there pretty soon. If you guys want to tell her about anything or rope her in, now's the time.
I think so.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to start by saying, do you remember a period of time in which you were not receiving any?
I'm fully aware of that. Yes.
Are you fully aware of the person in the warehouse who's pretending to be you?
No. I'm sorry.
So
someone was pretending to be me?
Not fully aware.
No. I was aware that there was some interference, especially around Jade, that I wasn't able to get the normal calls to action that I normally was able to. I figured it had something to do with the beacon that you obtained, but I was not aware of who that owner of that previous beacon was.
That's true. Yeah, you had a poser who was trying to get your attention, I guess, was the story. Yeah. So we ended up bumping into him, and a full disclosure, sort of pretended to be you. And he bought it. He was very eager, seemed like pretty good with the stuff.
Yeah, there have been a lot of people in the past that have wanted to contact me or pretend to be me for various reasons.
Well, we told him that we would convey this information to you, and we have done that.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Well, I will certainly look him up. We're generally not hiring, but
preferably don't kill him.
Understood.
Taking that off the list.
Check. I've done that.
I have done the thing.
So the vac suits come. They've been delivered each one of you can have some. I know, Micah, you probably will refuse.
Yeah.
But there are 4 vac suits that have been brought, one in each of your guys' sizes, including Claire's. And you guys can disembark now. I assume that's what you want to do, unless there's anything more you want to do in Jade before you leave.
No,
I
I think we're going.
Ready to go.
So you guys start making your way. Micah, have you made other people aware of what Claire asked of you? She didn't ask anyone else. She went to you kind of specifically.
Yeah. So if we're setting a course over there, like how long would it take to sail over to that area?
Yeah. So effectively, this island is off of the western coast of Ostia, which is this massive, massive continent. It's probably a couple of hours away from the coast itself. But as Claire said, it is very close to like where if you walked perpendicularly so you got to Ostia as fast as you possibly can, that area is about where her village was. So overall, like it would probably take a couple of hours to go out of your way. Definitely not like a day.
Okay. Yeah. So if we're sailing in that direction, I will kind of say to the others, hey, so there is a place like right on the mainland that I would like to check out since we're right in the area. It's a place where some silence operatives invaded before. And yeah, it shouldn't take too long, couple hours in and out, if that's cool with everybody.
No one is on board.
Okay.
Alex is asleep.
That's true.
He's
I've
not
made
asleep,
this
but
decision
he's below deck. At least in like bed.
Dorian Gray's like, yeah, sure, whatever. It's not like the island's going to go anywhere.
Yeah, that's what I think. Great.
So I will probably say that this takes the rest of this current day. So it is the sun sets. Nona, you just keep on going. Micah, Claire, and Dorian Gray assume eventually also like turn in for the night.
Mm-hmm.
This was originally only meant to hold 4 people, but now it's holding 5. So it's a little cramped below deck. It's kind of like a studio apartment, as we've described.
Yeah, I mean, Nona can stay above
Yep.
deck.
Are you not trying to pretend to need to sleep in front of Dorian Gray?
I don't think for a single night.
Okay.
I think I can wave that off as just being too excited or whatever.
And we heal our character level for a night of sleep. Is that right?
I believe so, yes.
Cool.
All right. So it is morning the next day at when you guys arrive. So you, Nona, are driving, and like Dorian Gray wakes up and like makes some offhand comment about, just burning the midnight oil, huh? And nothing really like, oil. You're a robot. It was just like, she noticed that effectively.
Oh, no.
Dorian Gray will remember that. And you guys come across this sheer cliff that is the mainland of Ostia, as we've previously discussed. Orsiame is basically all mountain and water, and so you've got these sheer cliffs. But as you move closer and closer, you see just like a little alcove that could like be like a dock or something along those lines. It has this metal pier that reaches out, where there are no boats currently docked there. As you pull in, you do like underneath the water see just maybe some sunken things here and there. It does appear that there were once a lot of boats here. The dock is a bit in disrepair, and no one really has been looking after it. And this is going off of specifically directions from you, Micah, that was given to you by Claire about this is whereabouts.
So we're playing telephone about this.
Yeah. If Micah is not going to say exactly where this information came from.
Yeah.
That's fine.
And from this dock is a long set of stairs that winds up this peak.
Cool. we climb those stairs.
Okay.
Also, for what it's worth, given that fix doesn't actually increase how much I can heal from a thing, I might actually go throw those points into something else. We haven't used any of it yet, so I feel like hopefully that's
Go for
okay.
it. Yeah.
Cool. So I'm gonna up administer and program instead.
Cool. So you guys walk up these stairs, and it is a bit of a trek. It's a lot of stairs. You're going quite high up into this location. It is called Nova Peak, after all. And as you start to slowly make your way up, and the elevation rises and rises, you eventually come across fields, or not so much fields as what are they called? Rice paddies, like where you have like these little alcoves filled with water that are growing some plants here and there. It's very clear that despite the fact that this is like very much a raised area, they're still able to find some usable farmland by like digging in and effectively like making these little, I don't know, pools almost to grow these plants that like wetter environments. And as you make your way farther and farther up, you eventually reach the peak, where you come across it. Think of like just the peak of a mountain, but like if the top of it was just cut off. So it's fairly flat plateau. And you just see a couple of buildings just dotted around on the top here. And there is one that is close to the cliff near the end that Claire seems to be interested in. And as you guys walk through this town, this village, you see just there's a couple of houses that were once there that are very much have been razed, whether that is lit on fire or blown up for one reason or another. You do see some bodies that are just humanoid figures that are laying across certain areas, some over top of fallen over carts, some like hanging out of windows, and just general, it's a pretty grisly scene. And Claire is affected, to say the least.
I'm gonna try and surreptitiously give her a little side hug if no one's looking too close to protect her privacy.
Not notice any of that.
Mm-hmm. Dorian Gray goes up to you, Mike, and says, so what are you hoping to find here?
So, yeah, this is a spot where there's a silence raid that I have heard about. Just remembered the name and that it was close to our island, and wanted to look around and see if maybe there was something we could figure out, something they left behind, anything like that.
Okay, I can take some houses over there and see if there's anything that was left behind then.
Yeah, I think Nona will do similarly. Not following Dorian Gray because like it seems more efficient to like spread out and search things.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta randomly go loot some stuff.
Alex, what are you doing?
Alex is, first of all, the dude looks like death. Like he does not look, he's not doing hot. He slept, but it was like very, very sporadic, at most like 30 minutes of sleep at a time. And
Never
going
got
back.
that good REM sleep.
No, not this boy. I think he like stands in the street for a while, kind of like also looking at everything. Kind of has to shake himself back in as much as he can, and will just kind of follow Nona as she starts making decisions, doing stuff.
Okay.
I'll just kind of shadow.
So Alex and Nona are maybe taking one side of like this village, and Dorian Gray's taking another. Claire is continuing to move towards that house near the cliff.
Yeah,
it's almost making a beeline towards it.
I'm gonna stick with Claire and go in that direction.
Okay.
I think I want to. I don't know if Nona would necessarily notice this, but like I do think the fact that Alex is following her is slightly odd.
Yeah, I'll certainly have both of you roll like a charisma notice check to see like maybe what's going on between everyone right now.
That's fair. I got a 3.
13.
Very nice.
No, you were oblivious. You're just like, okay, I guess I'll start looking for things. I don't know why Alex is being weird and following me. Alex, you are very aware that there is something up between specifically Claire. You think that definitely Micah is saying this on behalf of her. You're not entirely sure why, but it might be pretty easy to put together the pieces as to why you guys might be here.
Okay. Kind of like looking at everything. Alex takes forever to actually like take some initiative, so I think Micah and Claire will be pulling up ahead.
Mhm.
But after a little bit, just kind of like he'll pull on Nona's sleeve and just kind of go, "Come on," and like that's the mumble that you get out. And he'll go over towards Micah and Claire.
Okay.
Anna's on board. Did you find any cool shit before then?
So Claire and Micah have made it to this. It's a home. It's maybe not as nice as or extravagant as some of the things that maybe Jordan Donahue had.
Well, no one can match Jordan Donahue.
Only one person can be Jordan Donahue.
Jordan
Only one.
Only one.
And maybe two, maybe also Dorian Gray.
So
But that'd be ridiculous.
why would that happen? Anywho,
Fucking Batman.
Claire and Micah make their way up to this little 2-story house. It's quaint, and I assume you're letting Claire take the lead on all of this.
Yeah.
And she goes up to the door and she hesitates. She doesn't immediately open it, and she says, "Because I gave a prophecy, I never really saw how the rest of the house looked." Okay.
You okay?
Yeah, oh, okay. And she reaches out and turns the knob, and you guys enter. And what you immediately see in front of you is a grisly scene, to say the least. Claire is not really focusing on any one thing. She is focused on the stairs that are at the back of the house that seem to lead up to where the bedrooms might be, and has started to go there. But Mike, as you enter, you see a kitchen and living room area. It is a fairly open plan, but as you walk in, you see just on the walls, on the ground, on the ceiling even, there's just dried blood everywhere. More than one person could really have. And at the back, on the right side of this this building, on the wall, you see a skeleton that's just draped on the wall, almost as if it was thrown with great force against the wall and just slid down. And you only see that body. Everything else seems to have come from people or bodies that were removed. As you can see that there are drag marks out the door, but that one was left behind.
I'm gonna breathe holy shit under my breath and then try and not let Claire get too far ahead on her own.
So as you guys climb the stairs and she opens the door to a bedroom, you are met with a very familiar sight. You see that same bed, that same dresser, that same bookshelf that you saw before in that dream, almost identical, except fast forwarded 5 years with absolutely nothing or no one to keep it. So there's some cracks in the window here, maybe from some storms. You see there's just dust on a lot of pieces of the furniture, and you see Claire go to grab a couple of things. One is a little stuffed corgi that she has on her bed. Another is on her dresser is a little photograph of her and you would assume to be mother, kind of like slotted into in between the frame and the mirror. And she takes that out and puts that in her bag along with the corgi. She goes to her dresser and pulls out a half harp shaped pendant that was there and puts that in there as well. And then says, okay, there's one more thing I need to grab. Okay. And are you just sort of allowing her to have this moment?
I'm not trying to intrude too much. I'm here if she needs me. Yeah.
And she walks down the stairs and really trying not to focus on anything on the first floor. She goes over to the body on the other end of the room. And she goes to it and says, bye, Mom. And she takes a pendant that is draped around. I'm sorry, I'm having a moment here. That is draped around her mother's neck. And she says, okay, I'm good. I can go. And she walks out.
Okay. I'm gonna, after we're like outside the door, gonna take her by the shoulder and offer at least a hug. And if she kind of doesn't really reciprocate, I won't push it.
She absolutely does.
Okay.
She says, thank you. I don't know if I didn't know if I was ever going to be able to come back here. And these things mean a lot to me. Thank you.
Yeah.
Noah and Alex.
I guess we just wander up like assholes. Hey, you find any good stuff?
Alex, you are completely and utterly aware of what may have transpired. Noda, you have no.
It's not.
No,
I'm just
no
following.
clue.
But I've got enough of like I think I've gotten enough practice at something is going on here that I don't fully understand. So maybe I should shut up.
Mm-hmm.
That she's mostly not talking, but very baffled. No idea what is happening. Rolled my 3.
Mm-hmm.
Like.
Yeah, Alex doesn't go into the house.
Okay.
Alex stays outside.
You're just sort of being there for support, but not necessarily saying anything or doing anything in this moment in time.
Yeah.
And
If we're there for too long, Nona's going to be like, what are we doing?
Claire walks up to you, Nona, and says, can I borrow your lighter?
Yes.
And she takes the lighter and very almost ceremoniously just starts lighting parts of the house.
I want to help with that. If we're setting things on fire, this is a thing that I know how to. No idea why we're doing it, but I'll go get like some.
Yeah.
Some like leftover. I don't even know. There's probably not paper or wood or really anything anywhere, but
yeah,
whatever I can find around that is flammable.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, we're burning this down. Yes.
Yeah. All
right.
Yeah. It's hard to bury things on Orsiame. And she leaves it at that as she goes to continue to light these different things. Alex and Micah, are you doing anything? Dorian Gray's currently still off, like checking some of the other houses.
I think I'm definitely letting Claire do that. I don't think I have a lighter myself or any way to particularly help. And
if you had a laser pistol, if you wanted, like that's something I could theoretically.
Okay. I think I do actually, but I'm taking a minute looking just like off the cliff over at the ocean, because I think that's probably the most immediate scene that I've seen from like a Silence Operative raid. Like I've been with my group for like a little over a year, but that was super fucked up in a way that I hadn't directly encountered before.
Alex?
I think Alex is like just kind of watching all of the fires that are coming up. Obviously, like as the group moves, he doesn't go into any of the houses. He stays out on the roads as like, whoever goes in to light stuff on fire does so. Alex just kind of like stays outside and watches everything
Mhm.
kind of coming down.
And this was all during early morning. So as the sun starts to rise over this cliff, the flames start to lick higher and higher until Claire and Nona don't need to help it anymore, and it starts to slowly just encapsulate the entirety of the building until it is completely aflame.
How much of a fire hazard have we created here? Are we like...
It's a single house at the end, like at the end of a
Okay.
road. It's not going to catch other things on fire. And Claire just, as it starts to really just takes a step back and just has a moment to herself, and goes up to all of you and says, "Thank you. This gives me some closure about everything. I was able to get the pendants that my mother and I had together. Thank you. We should go to the island now. I'm done here."
Agreed. This will probably draw notice if anyone is around. Leaving is probably a good idea.
Yeah.
I'll take my lighter back for what it's worth.
Mm-hmm. She gives it back freely. No, it's mine now.
But I need that for fires.
Yeah, and if there's nothing else that you guys want to say to her, to comfort her, or anything else you do, Dorian Gray will meet back up with her, with you guys, and you'll be ready to head out to the island. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
So you guys start making your way back down.
For what it's worth, Nona now has the rule in her head that setting things on fire brings Claire closure, which is a good thing.
Oh, boy.
So,
It's a very specific rule.
I mean, she doesn't really know what happened there. Thanks. We set fire to a thing. She said, thanks. That gives me closure.
Mm-hmm.
A to B to C, okay?
Uh-huh. And Dorian Gray meets back up with you guys and goes up to you, Mike, and says, "I have a feeling that this wasn't about gathering info, was it?"
Did you find anything?
No. Let's head to the island.
Okay. Let's walk down the very long stairs.
Yep, and you make your way all the way back down, and your boat is gone. Oh, well. No, it's still there.
We swim.
You swim.
One time
Finally.
I did not take the
You
fucking
didn't take the
spark
battery.
plugs out. Ugh.
You guys are going to be able to make it in a couple of hours to the island. All right. If there's nothing more to talk about, we can just fast forward then.
Zoom.
Cool.
Let's do
Yeah.
So, as you guys start to approach these coordinates that were given to you by Jordan Donahue, you would definitely have access to a Geiger counter, right? Like, especially if you're
maybe?
going. I
Nona
think on the
actually has one
Vaxotes,
built in.
Yeah, on
I
the,
just start and I can't stop.
on the vac suits themselves, I'm just going to say they do have just built-in Geiger counters because I feel like that would be a useful thing to have for a vac suit.
Love it.
Yeah.
So as you guys have not, unless you're like, okay, we're heading here now, so let's put on the.
Yeah.
Okay. So you all put on your vac suits, and
So we don't die. Yes.
so you don't die,
Love
and
that.
you just start hearing that. You don't see anything. You're in the middle of just this ocean. It's ocean everywhere that you can see. You just start hearing the click, 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 click. It's pretty low level radiation, but obviously as you travel a little bit more, an extra 10, 20 minutes, those clicks start to get louder and louder and more consistent, because that's, I think, how Geiger counters work.
Yep.
They click more often. I assume you guys eventually turn that off, saying like, I know we're in this irradiated zone, unless you guys want to have just an idea at the
If
very
we
least,
can
like looking.
see, like, without it making the annoying clicking noise, if there's a readout of
Yeah,
some
you
sort,
could-
I think Nona would keep an eye on that just out of curiosity, I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. I'm gonna say, yeah, you can definitely. There's a dial somewhere.
Sure.
I'm not entirely sure. It'd probably be on the vac suit itself, maybe on like the arm, let's say.
And yeah, I said this before, but I'm not wearing one. I'm keeping my effort committed.
Yep. All right. As you make your way closer and closer to the island, obviously everything gets louder and louder. But you actually start to see like little something on the horizon. And as you get closer, you see the island itself is almost like this crescent moon shape. It has, I don't need to describe it. It's a crescent moon shape. You can see within as you get closer that there appears to be some kind of pier on the inside of this island. So like on the inside of this crescent moon. But one thing that you guys start to notice is very strangely, there appears to be a ton of vegetation on this island, like reaching up into the sky, growing almost without anything stopping it. It is overflowing practically, so you barely even see a beach, and you see these tall trees and vines going down, and like the flora itself is also beautiful and colorful. It's a lot of Orsame is like rock and water and dull dark colors, and you see this like almost oasis in the middle of everything. And as you start to reach closer and closer to the island, that radiation that you were seeing starts to drop a little bit until it reaches, once you get into this sort of bay area that you see, it has reached to a level where there is some radiation just apparent, but only really long exposure times would really cause any issues. I'm not saying you should take off your vac suits, but if something were to rip or something along those lines, it would require like living here a couple of days in order for that radiation to be a problem.
Where roughly was the sort of peak radiation point? In terms of, we were traveling here, it was definitely getting to be a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're getting closer now and it's getting to be a lot less, which means it peaked somewhere.
Yeah, it peaked. Think of it as there's, for some reason, some kind of ring around the island that has higher traces of radiation. And the lower radiation that you're getting now is from that ring that is outside of the island itself.
It basically grew and then fell in the same, so it didn't like sharp drop off. It like up to
there was a point
off.
Where you maybe started to see the island itself where it was at its highest.
Got it.
And then as you started to approach more and more, it would start to go down.
Yeah. I'm going to say, sort of to those who I at least know have lived in Orisiame, like this is crazy. Have you ever seen this many trees
I mean,
on our planet?
No, especially not like big plants. They generally can't, find any like ground or anything like that. It's
all rock.
Yeah. It's pretty.
It is pretty. Is it like denser where the radiation is higher? Can we like tell
the
that?
radiation itself is in the ocean itself.
Oh, I see. Oh,
around.
I thought we were on. Okay. No.
Yeah. We're still on a boat.
We're still on a boat.
We haven't landed yet, although I'm guessing we're landing at that pier. Is pier made of wood?
Sadly, no. Are you guys going to do anything else before you approach?
I don't really see what else there is to do.
Okay, so you guys...
I think, real quick, Alex has been very quiet, but will kind of be watching Claire. He's looking to make sure that she's like not dissociated. If she's like, kind of apart, he's looking for signs of,
Definitely when you guys first left Nova Peak, she was definitely a little out of it. She was not really paying attention to things around her. She was definitely thinking about some things, had a lot on her mind. As the hours drew by, and especially when the radiation started to pick up, she started to focus a little bit more. It seemed like she was like, okay, that was a thing that happened, and now I'm focused on this. So she definitely seems to be in the moment at this point in time. She doesn't seem to be lingering on what transpired earlier.
Okay. Yeah.
I wonder if anything lives here, like animals.
Yes, plants.
I mean, moving. No. Yeah, you're fine. You're right.
Nona is
other
pleased
things.
about being
Well, yeah, like
correct.
or Siame doesn't have like a native biosphere, but like maybe having a bunch of trees and plantation means that something's eating like fruits or something.
Could, right?
Yeah.
Probably.
I don't know. This is neat, at least.
Yeah,
for
it's
this planet.
bizarre.
Yeah.
And maybe like they're trying to hide this with the radiation ring that just kind of tapers out. Or
What was the story of how it got irradiated? Was there a weapon? Was there
I think there was like an accident, right? Like either this was a nuclear plant or a weapon or something.
Yeah, I think the what was told to you by Jordan Donahue, the story about this island, it was a research lab that was investigating applications of nuclear material, and there was some kind of accident. It's very vague on what that accident was, but like 50 odd years ago, maybe a little bit less, that irradiated the entire island, leaving it uninhabitable.
Yeah, well, it seems like maybe not so much as the story goes.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's
Cool.
check it out then.
All right. So as you guys pull closer and closer, I can describe this dock a little bit more.
Not wood.
It's not. It's a mess of metal and wires that is on one side of the beach. It's a little bit off center. It was clearly once a dock, but it almost seems like it's been attacked. There is just parts of it that are ripped up. It's not like a very nice place to try and land. If you go a little bit closer into the island, there's some more structure, but definitely the farther out bit, like there's panels that are just half sunken within the water. There are just posts with no panels where it normally would. You see some posts like bent at odd angles as if something pulled it apart.
I
But-
want to get real.
But no
boat
like
nerdy on
sunken,
here.
no like sunken ships that you can see.
Okay.
I want to get real boat nerdy on here, but I'm not gonna.
So what are you guys gonna do? Are you gonna try and just pull into the
I mean,
dock?
I don't
and-
feel great about parking at the dock. The other option is we can like anchor out in the water, but it depends on how high our boat, like how much into the shallows we can get without beaching it,
Mhm.
and how many anchors we have, and that sort of thing. I really don't want to park on this dock for reasons of it looks like it got attacked, and so that feels like a targeted place.
Okay.
But I also like don't necessarily, for reasons of storytelling, want to spend 45 minutes trying to figure out how best to park the boat not
Absolutely.
on the dock.
We
Yeah.
don't have a dinghy, do we?
I'll allow you guys to have a dinghy so you can like
right.
anchor a little bit offshore so it's not beached, and then like
Yeah.
do a little rowboat into everything with the five of you.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to stay significantly away from the dock then, I think.
Okay. And as you get closer and closer to the island, you start to make out some things. There does appear to be at one point that there was some kind of standing structure here, but it has been long since demolished. As to the nature of the way that it was demolished, you can't quite make out, but it is just, there's rubble just all around. And you see like there was once a wall here and half of it has fallen over, and so it's just like knee length. Height, I should say, knee height. But then there's just a bunch of trees that are growing in between and out of like where these rocks and rubble and plaster was once there. And it's just like a mess of once building material and something that has obviously overgrown it.
So Nona is very much not liking this. And so I don't know if there's actually a game mechanic for this, but going to try to keep an extra sharp eye out for basically any movement not coming from our party.
Yeah.
Like in the trees, from the trees, any of that.
Can you make
sort of
a
thing.
quick wisdom nose check for me, please?
Oh, love to. Yep. Here we go.
Is your favorite.
Favorite check. Okay, that is a 4.
The only movement that you can really make out is the wind blowing these trees and just sort of ruffling all of its leaves together. You don't see anything that you would consider organic movement, like something sneaking
Sure.
behind a leaf or something. It seems fairly I say fairly. It seems very quiet too. The only sounds that you're hearing are from you guys, the lapping of the waves against the shore, and then the occasional breeze through the leaves and
All right, well, I
vegetation.
tried.
Yeah, I'm definitely enthralled with how like the overgrowth here is. I'm very like interested in, I mean, checking out the ruins, but just everything that's growing. And I also kind of want to try and pull Claire into it. Like, oh shit, check that out.
Yeah, and
That's
she's
purple.
She's very much into it. Like she has never seen this many colors and just plant life on Orisiame. And like all of these things that you're seeing as well, even if you maybe have seen sometimes plants on Orisiame, it's nothing like what you see here. It's just a lot of very exotic, almost tropical stuff. And she's very much invested in this as well. And Dorian Gray is just looking around, trying to take everything in. Alex, are you doing anything specifically?
Alex is mostly like looking around, just kind of taking everything in. If anything, there's like part of him that's looking for a river or something that flows out into the ocean. There's some kind of like, if the radiation's in the water, then maybe it started at like the mouth of a river or like by a river in a lake, something like that. But
yeah, there's really isn't a water source that you can immediately see just looking at the beach around you. It is a fairly large island. It's not one that you could immediately like walk around the entire circumference of in the matter of like an hour or two. It's one that you would probably take like a day to fully go around everything. But as you quickly like look around into the different areas, at least to where you are right now into the bay, you don't see anything that's like, oh, that's a stream. So maybe something on the back of the island that you guys didn't approach from, or maybe there isn't a source at all. Can I have you all make a wisdom notice check, please?
That's much better. 8.
I
11.
finally don't have a negative modifier on that, but it won't help me when I roll 2.
You got an 11?
An 11.
So, Alex, as you started to look around for these different sources and just try and get a general idea, meanwhile, Nona is looking at the tops of the trees and seeing if anything is watching them. Dorian Gray's just taking everything in, and Micah and Claire are looking at the different vegetation. You notice in a little bit of an alcove, not too far away from the dock itself, within a recess almost, is a bunch of metal that appears to be, it has a crease down the center of it and handles or something. And there's a mess of vegetation that's currently just overlaid on top of it. So if you didn't immediately, if you just like glanced over it, you wouldn't have noticed. But you see that this appears to be some kind of doorway.
Yeah. Alex isn't going to say anything. He is going to start walking over to the doors and start like kind of brushing that away. Does he recognize any of these plants? Or does he have like no idea what any of these things are?
No, you don't recognize anything immediately. These seem to be very large plants. You're familiar with some jungles here and there, but nothing that would like looks exactly like this. There's a lot of vines and a lot of roots in this.
Yeah, there's a part of Alex that's like, is this a new native species? Like, did something just kind of pop up? But again, doesn't really say anything as he just kind of like moves everything around.
And you're starting to brush off this vegetation on what you think that this is a door?
Yeah.
Okay. You start to do that. Some of them require like a little bit of tugging, as very clearly they've almost gripped into the door itself. But you're able to brush away until, this is very clearly a door. You see the handles and everything like that. Do you try the doorknob?
No, kind of like once it's clear, he like looks at the door, looks back at everyone else, and is like, and kind of like holds up a hand. I found a
hatch, if you will, perhaps.
A door.
Yeah.
Nope, it's a hatch.
What? You found something?
He kind of points at the.
Are you trying to be like kind of
No,
not
he's
quite?
just,
Or are you
the
just you're
words
kind of
are
out
not-
of it?
he's-
Okay.
there's no words.
Oh, that's a door. I think maybe. Yes. Yes.
That looks like a door.
It has a door handle.
Kirsten is silently dying inside, but this
You-
is fine.
Do you have something you want to add, Kirsten?
It's lost. We're on the Lost Island,
Oh,
you guys.
no.
We're gonna
Well,
get attacked by a shadow monster. And we're all gonna die.
I never watched that show, so that can't hurt me.
4, 8, 15, 16,
No,
20,
stop.
32.
So
Okay, that's it. That's all my references. I'm done.
now that it's been called attention to,
Now I can
I'd
move on.
like to go up to the door.
Yes.
Okay. Who's going to try the door?
Not
If
me.
Alex isn't doing anything with it,
Okay.
I will move to open it.
So you move to open it, and it is pretty well stuck. Probably maybe some rust, or maybe the vines itself have almost pinned this door closed. But just trying to like turn the handle and pull open does not appear to do anything. Can I have you roll a strength exert check, though?
Sure.
Like this is just you were trying to tug it a little bit like you normally would a door, and now you're like, oh, that's not opening. Let me just like,
Yeah. Exert. That should be a 6.
So as you're pulling on this door, you can't get it open. It's pretty well stuck closed. You're gonna have to find some other way to open it.
Well, I'd definitely like to use my telekinetic manipulation on that door.
Oh,
I'm gonna-
please tell me.
I'm going to try and force through it. So I'm able to manipulate objects up to 400 kilograms as if with 2 hands. I don't know if that means I can exert 400 kilograms of force on this door. I can smash through things of a light wooden construction,
That's not
This-
that.
which is
not
not this.
Yes.
So am I able to like push it
You
more?
could like pull
Or
on
not
it
really?
with that while somebody else also pulled on it, probably.
Yeah.
Sure.
We could maybe, I mean, I'm not super strong, but I'm probably stronger than Alex.
Oh, most definitely.
Okay.
I think you might also be stronger than Dorian Gray as well.
Sweet. I guess as the second strongest member of our party, unless Claire's secretly a beast.
No, she's
I
not.
guess-
She has a -1 to strength.
Okay.
Here's a motion related thing about it. Objects that I can control with this move at 20 meters per round. So if that corresponds to some amount of force, I don't want to do math, y'all.
Mhm.
So the door itself, is it like 2 rectangular panes that like meet in the middle and like
Yeah,
are inlaid? So it has 2 doors.
it's like a double door.
Can
yeah.
we see anything that like would be gumming up the works?
Yeah, you can make a quick look at like some of the creases. It does appear that this island gets quite a bit of rain, so you wouldn't be surprised if the hinges were quite rusted. So it might just be like the hinges themselves need some lubrication, or at the very least some percussive maintenance, maybe
Would I have that?
lubrication.
Yeah. Just like I kind of, I'm both a
I feel
mechanic.
like you would.
I'm a robot.
Yeah, I feel like you'd have probably some lubrication around.
Okay.
Are you just gonna try and like lubricate up the
Hinges, sure. Why
Okay.
not?
So you
do
you
that.
take some
Okay.
good old space WD-40
Yep.
and put it in all of like the nooks and crannies to try and help things loosen up. And then are you going to be just trying it, or are you going to try
do
like
the
together?
strength exert with
Okay.
at the same time as Micah's.
Okay, so Micah, I'm going to say you
Force
just
thingy.
do that. And Nona, can you make me a strength exert check, please?
That is a 7.
Okay. But with the addition of the help that you were getting from Micah, additionally with the lubrication that you were able to provide it creaks open and you just hear, you can see down in, there's steps that almost lead down into the island itself. It is, I would say, fairly early in the day. Well, not fairly early. It's about midday. So you can see light. The light from the doorway that you're opening that goes down into the this room that you immediately see, and there doesn't appear to be any other light sources that you can immediately see from this vantage point.
Nona is going to grab a small rock and move as if to like sort of throw it in there, but first look at kind of everybody else, be like,
Sure.
And then not seeing any sort of, wait, no, don't do that. She's going to toss it just to like get an idea of how far down it goes, like, you know, down the steps kind of deal, and see, you know, if there's any traps of any sort. Maybe my small rock will take that out. That sort of thing.
You throw a rock down and it goes down the stairs until it just sounds like there's a pretty flat surface after a while. In fact, you would probably say, I estimate like 30 or 40 meters down in there's some kind of opening that it sounded like there was opening. I don't know if you could do that from sound, but I'm just going to give it to you.
Sure.
After you do that, there's like just a period of nothing. It's pretty quiet. And then the wind catches up and there's just like a lot of creaking that's happening on these trees, just going back and forth from the wind.
Just checking. There is definitely wind here, right?
Yeah.
Like the wind moves and we can feel the wind.
There's a lot of wind on Orisiame.
For no reason whatsoever.
It's not like the trees are moving on them by themselves or anything.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get whomping willowed on the Lost Island.
So who's heading down first?
Oh, I'm turning on my flashlight.
Yep.
Okay. Everyone's flashlight on. I assume I think we said that there are flashlights on the vac suits as well. And also like lights that go up on the face.
It's completely blinding you so you can see your face, but you can't see anything else. It's really inconvenient.
It's probably like just a little bit so like someone can see like the outlines of your face.
You see your face as if somebody was telling like a scary story, like a flashlight under your chin, and then they went into the hole in the ground.
And I think we established mine is like a wrist mountable one, so I can still see.
And what's the order that you guys are going in?
I mean, is there any reason not to go standard order at this point?
Yeah, but where's Dorian Gray in all this?
Middle.
Where does she want to go?
Okay, so remind me of what the order. That's Micah, Nona.
And then probably Dorian Gray. I don't actually know between Micah and Claire. Or not Micah and Claire, Alex and Claire.
Yeah, whatever. Let's say Micah, Nona. I feel like Dorian Gray is in the rear for some reason.
Okay.
Fine.
Yeah.
So I think Claire,
I think
Alex,
Claire, Alex,
Dorian
Gray, yeah.
Go.
All right, writing that down.
So Michael get spooked by all the spooks in the front, and Dorian Gray will get got by all the spooks in the back, and the rest of us are safe.
I cannot be
haunted
surprised.
House rules, motherfuckers.
So as you make your way down, you find yourself in what almost appears to be like a lobby. You see on the far wall, you see like a welcome desk almost with a computer that's perched on top of it. Someone very clearly like a secretary or something would have like maybe greeted people from behind that desk. Within this room, it obviously was once a very open room with chairs around the side, maybe like for a waiting area. But there's been a large tree that you guys were moving towards that reaches down through the top of the ceiling and like peeled back parts of the ceiling and has reached farther down and is now also going through the roots itself. So you have a lot of these like woody pillars that are out throughout the room, and the vegetation itself also just seems to have grown down the walls into it, into this lobby area. As you flash your lights around, as you get farther in, can I have you all make a wisdom notice check, please?
For some of these, if we're specifically looking for something, can I roll intelligence instead, or is that just not how that works?
What are you looking for?
No, not on this particular one. But I just mean in terms of like if I'm like, I look around for this thing.
Yeah. I'll take it.
6.
One by one. Okay, 6.
Yeah.
7.
So Claire, who is next to Nona, taps you on the shoulder and points out to one of these fairly large roots that is reaching down from the ceiling into the ground. You just see like a twitching that's happening as slowly slopping forward out of this wooded root that is reaching down into the floor here. You see a shambling biped as it falls forward onto the ground. Vegetation is draped all over its body as it kind of lumbers forward. It doesn't really have a good sense of how to use its limbs and legs. At the end of its elongated arms, as it reaches out, you can see are sharp thorns, almost akin to claws. And its head is a flower that seems to open and close as it breathes. And it reveals like a little circular, toothy mouth at the base of its neck. You see this one, and then 5 others fall out onto the ground, almost awoken perhaps by the rock that was thrown down earlier. And we're going to have to start some combat, but we'll do that next time.
Oh, friends. Friendly plant people.
Yeah, they seem nice.
They seem fun.
Squiggly.
I call them sporins.
They go dancers.
Jeff, you're really entering your body horror period.
I
aren't
love
you?
it so much.
So how much was this influenced by Lost, and how much is that just me projecting?
Well, there is an island.
It is a secret
Well, there
island.
is an island.
There's an island.
It's overrun by vegetation.
With a mysterious metal door.
With a
on
mysterious metal door, and I will have you know, the name of the station is the Orphan.
it. Oh, I hate